Well, another state has opened up constitutional carry, but there's all sorts of unconstitutional stuff still blocking the way. I want to take a moment and thank our sponsor, of course, and that's Jase Medical. Not only for sponsoring this channel, but for really providing what I believe to be one of the best preps anybody can make, which is having an emergency supply of all sorts of antibiotics and a 1-year supply of your chronic meds. So what we're talking about is the state of Nebraska. They just opened up constitutional carry. Anybody can carry. The problem is that in order to have a gun, you need to have a permit to own a gun, and that's the unconstitutional piece. So in other words, a lot of people are allowed to carry, but many of them are not allowed to own guns. And I've said this many times, we already have to go through a background check when you buy a gun. It is unnecessary for any state to suggest that you need to have a permit to buy a gun. Now, if this was Illinois or California or Oregon or Washington or New Jersey or New York, like, I totally get it. They're awful. They're totally anti-Second Amendment already. What's going to stop them? Nothing, probably. But when it comes to Nebraska, this is very disturbing because Nebraska, to me, I'm from Missouri, northwestern Missouri, so Nebraska is just right there. I drive through it all the time. If I'm going to go west, I'm going to cross through Nebraska, and I always feel like what a great state. Look at them protecting my Second Amendment rights. But I wasn't aware that this was a permit. You got to have a permit to buy a gun or a handgun. This is awful. So I want to take a moment and just kind of say, those of you that live in Nebraska, that's a good achievement, what your government did there. But they're still tying your hands when it comes to the Second Amendment. Many folks, because there's many folks that simply don't have a permit. And what do you got to go through to go to permit? There's a process you got to go through. They dig deeper than they probably should be digging. Because every American has the right to own a firearm. I firmly believe if you're not a violent felon, then you should be able to own a firearm. You should be able to carry that firearm wherever you want. But yet, here we are. Here we are in a state of Nebraska. It's almost like a slap in the face to say, hey, look at us. Everybody can carry. We're constitutional carry, but you got to have a permit to have a gun, and we might not give you that permit. It's really kind of a backhanded compliment or a backhanded favor, so to say. So I just want to take a moment and say, if you live in Nebraska, write your leaders. Let them know how you feel. Call them, visit them if you can. Because I've been to the state capital of Missouri, and most of those folks, you can just walk right into their office and they'll be more than happy to talk to you. So I recommend that kind of thing. I recommend you let them know that this is great what you did, but come on. I still got to have a permit to buy a gun. This is ridiculous. This is not California. This is Nebraska. So any thoughts or insight, definitely put that below. Definitely write your leaders. If you live in a state that's talking like they're pro-Second Amendment, but they limit you for other reasons, let them know it's not okay. And any thoughts or insight, again, put that below. Would like to take a moment and say most people watch this channel, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is below. But the most important part of the channel, we take prayer requests, and never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, love guns.